What's up, everybody? Sorry it took a little bit to get going here, but welcome back to Scarlet and Great. We're doing a post-game live chat, live chat here on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to give you just a moment to get everybody tuning in. We are talking Buckeyes, Ohio State versus Maryland. Ohio State cruises to an absolute obliteration of the Maryland Terrapins. So we are going to, again, give you a couple minutes to roll in here and get going. We got we had the pregame chat with myself, Shane Larson, Florida Corey, and we are rolling now. We got a couple people in the chat. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining. Please comment where you are watching from, and we would love to get your comments and put them up here on the screen as the Buckeyes continue to dominate. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, as we're going to talk Buckeye content all the time as this team continues to roll. Ryan Day is absolutely crushing it. This team, Ryan Day, remains undefeated in Big Ten play. That is excellent. Just undefeated in conference play through 3 years. That's insane. The defense continues to improve. What do you guys want to talk about? Comment here at the show. Where are you from? What you're thinking? Let us know what is going on in your mind as you see the Buckeyes continue to crush people. A 66-17 victory. What an absolute beatdown. CJ Stroud is silencing all doubters, people like myself and others who saw him play earlier in the year and just said, hey, I don't know if this guy is going to get it done. Goes off for over 400 yards, right? Over 400 yards of total of passing offense, 5 touchdowns, 24 for 33. Just an insane stat line. No interceptions. Just sounds like a video game. We're back to video game type numbers here for the Buckeyes. And man, does it feel great. Go ahead and light up the comment section, guys. I see there's a few of you guys on here. I'm waiting for you guys to roll in and go ahead and comment here. I'll even put it up here for you guys on the banners. But we want to unpack this game. How about TreVeyon Henderson? TreVeyon Henderson I think, I'm not sure if this is a game that helps his Heisman campaign or not. Shoot, I think CJ Stroud might have just thrown his hat into the ring for the Heisman campaign. That was 2 games in a row. Somebody says Stroud is our QB1. Did you see that defense today? Yeah, the defense really looks to improve. The defense looks a lot better. There's a few times, still, missed tackles, getting pushed back at the line. This defense does not look dominant at the line of scrimmage. It still makes me wonder, like, if you play an elite team, like you seen last year in the Alabama National Championship game, which absolutely did not win at the line of scrimmage almost ever. And you're going to have to control the line of scrimmage. We didn't really control the line of scrimmage sometimes in this game, but we allowed Maryland to do what Maryland does, and that's overthrow, that's miss, that's drop, that's throw high, that's scramble around and get tackled. This defense quit letting teams look better than they really are. That's step 1. Step 2 will be actually making them worse than they really are. Trey is that dude. You're mighty right. Trey Henderson was bottled up at the beginning of the game. So they just used him in the passing game, and he looked pretty awesome. And moving forward, then looked like we have a little technical difficulties. 1 second. I may have to get out and restart this. Sorry about that, guys. 1 second. And we're back. Sorry about that. Thank you for your patience. I am not really sure what happened there, but we're back and it's a little bright and a little extra daylight here, but we'll deal with it. Yeah, Trey Henderson was largely bottled up, right, in the passing game and or in the running game, and then we threw to him. We did a few things differently. We just passed all over the field and then went back to him in the run game, and he looked really big. Comment: do you guys think he's in the Heisman contention? Because, right, I think the final stat line, he had 169 yards, right? It's 169 yards total. He had, I think, 3 total touchdowns, 1 passing, 2 running, 67 receiving yards, just an all-around complete game. And I want to know your thoughts on this. Did CJ Stroud throw his name in the ring for the Heisman contention? You don't have a ton of good play. I guess Caleb Williams kind of balling out now that he's in over Spencer Rattler, but will that last? Bryce Young's name's going to be in there because his stat line's going to be crazy. Even if he's just not, freaky good, his stat line's going to be really good. And CJ Stroud, I think, didn't do anything jaw-dropping today, but his stat line sure was jaw-dropping. He's not making mistakes. He's climbing up in the pocket. He's hitting open receivers. This offense, guys, far and away, I think, is absolutely the number one offense in the country. I just think that's pretty unanimous, right? I think this number one offense in the country, and it's not close, really. I think you can talk about Bama, right? You can talk about these other guys that are out there doing stuff, but by like most major statistics, Ohio State's the best, right? Ohio State's absolutely the best, and I just think that this is going to continue. This is not a sign of playing bad teams. Ohio State's just flat the best. You just look, it's 4th and 1. They load the box. So what we do, we throw a deep post to Olave. It wasn't even a good throw. He catches it anyway, and pass interference. You just can't beat a team when that's happening. I used to call, but play pickup basketball or even in regular basketball games, and you see a team just get hot and they throw anything up from distance and just goes in. You say, you can't beat it. You can't beat these guys when they're like that. When the Buckeyes are rolling like this, you absolutely can't beat them. Corey says offense is ridiculous. Number 1 in the nation from Shane. No question. Iowa's already rolling. Iowa, I don't see how they do what they do. You're not supposed to bank. You're supposed to go off yardage on points on defense and not turnovers because turnovers are supposed to be hard to recreate. Iowa continues to do it, but they play teams with bad offenses sometimes. Maryland's a decent offense. Penn State's not a great offense, so there they go. Tua Jr. avoid about 19 sacks. Yes, stat watchers, don't get caught up in no sacks, or there were some sacks. The defensive line was disruptive. I'll take that. I will take that because they got back behind the line of scrimmage and they caused absolute havoc. Number 1 offense in college football, absolutely. It's not really close at this point. When you have Stroud dealing, when you have Olave and Wilson doing Olave Wilson stuff, I think Garrett Wilson's probably the best receiver in the nation. I think Chris Olave is one of the best college football performers in the nation because he has an extra gear when it comes to speed. So that just allows you to get behind defense and do things even more complete receivers can't do. You have TreVeyon Henderson, who's just a difference maker. You can rest him and have a battering ram like Master T come in and move the chains and keep people fresh. You have 3 5-star tackles playing on the offensive line. This is just an absolute juggernaut of an offense, the likes of which you don't see a whole lot. If Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's easily a wide receiver 1 on a lesser team, is your third guy. Trey's ability to get involved in the passing game is what takes it from a great offense to an elite offense. Yeah, it's like this is an extra wrinkle, right? All right, what do we do when they load the box and stop, or they just play really good defense and stop Trey in the run game? 2 things. Usually it's when we just throw all over you, right? Well, they threw all over them and added the wrinkle of Trey being a catching threat. So it's just like pick your poison. 66 points. Hey, comment below. Who got I had to miss. My daughter was going berserk. I was trying to watch the end of the Texas game. Who got the defensive touchdown at the end to get the score up to 66? Because I have no idea. Guys, help me out here and continue to comment your thoughts on this game and let me know. Do you think CJ Stroud threw his hat in the ring for Heisman? Look, his stat line has got to be for the year now pretty stupid. He only had one bad statistical game. That was Tulsa. I get it. He sat the Akron game out. That's a goose egg. Even the Oregon game, if nothing else, the stat line was gaudy. First game of the season, stat line was nice. And I know he didn't have a great narrative, but this is only 6 games in, right? Someone says Craig Young. How about it? How about Craig Young coming? I don't understand these guys that they can't see the field, and then when they finally see the field, they do great, and it's kind of makes you wonder what's going on with the coaching. Although I know Craig Young and Steel Chambers kind of playing that interchangeable position there. Steel Chambers. How about Steel Chambers? Comment your thoughts on him. That guy looks fantastic. That looks he looks absolutely elite. And, Corey and I both thought this. I don't know why he tried to be a running back on this team with this depth of talent. He should have been a linebacker all along, but he is absolutely phenomenal as a linebacker, that Sam linebacker spot. So I think the defense continues to improve. I liked what I saw from the defense, right? So the defense gave one look once. You had 2 guys with their hands in the down lineman. It was 3rd down. And those were 2, Haskell Garrett, somebody else, interior lineman. You had Zach Harrison as a stand-up end. You had Jack Sawyer as a stand-up end. And right inside him, you had Steel Chambers as a stand-up, look like pass rusher, and he dropped into coverage. Those are the wrinkles. Those are the nuances we were hoping to see from – it looked like an NFL-type defense. It looked like a 3-4 instead of a 4-3. And then the mixture of coverages was really, really nice to see. If you guys aren't already subscribers to this channel, please subscribe, comment on this channel. We'd love to get 3,500 subscriptions. We've been crushing subscriptions lately. Love to get 3,500 by the Penn State game on October 30th, the big battle of the Midwest Titans. And we'd love to help. Please get us there. We have great analysis, great chat on this show, funny entertainment. Coach Zach Smith on once a week for real in-depth analysis. Corey and Shane Larson, as well as myself on here. Somebody says Steele is our best linebacker. Somebody said, I'm old enough to remember you wanting Kyle McCord to start of CJ, now singing his praises. Well, yeah, that's what you do when you see what happens in front of you, right? I saw CJ play really bad, so I wanted to see somebody else. Didn't have to be Kyle. Could have been anybody that could hit an 8-yard out. Now I see CJ playing really good, and I say, wow, he's playing really good. What would you want me to do? Not sing his praises? Would you want me to be Skip Bayless and just draw a line in the stand and say, this is my stance, I'm never coming off of it? No. See, that's what people do. They do at the beginning of the season. They said, I love CJ Stroud before he ever threw a pass. When he struggled, they said, oh, I still love CJ Stroud. He's great. Oh, he's not playing great. I don't care. He is great. I take the information that I get at the time and make an opinion off of that. If I would have came to you after the Tulsa game and said, CJ Stroud is the best quarterback I've ever seen, you would have said you're a liar. Now, CJ Stroud is playing excellent. And I can tell you he's playing excellent. Somebody says Chambers is our best linebacker. Another says Chambers is great at linebacker. He knows where to be. Great tackles in space. Yes, he got through. I think I saw what you saw, Shane. There was a nice screen set up, and he kind of just blew his way through it. Steel Chambers really flashed today. Yeah, I don't know why we don't just go back to 3 linebackers. How about Taraja Mitchell? Did you guys see him get to the perimeter and blow up a run play? Taraja can absolutely diagnose some run plays and really blow those up sometimes. If he can get home instead of missing, if he can really wrap up, he almost missed that tackle, then, yeah, he's going to really separate himself. Steele makes more plays than the rest of the linebackers. I think so. I think that speed, that converted – they talk about him being a converted running back. Really, I think he's always should have been a linebacker. Remember, he came here to play linebacker. He said, "Let me try running back." We did. He should have stayed. Should have stayed there. We could have used him other years too. So, I want to know what you guys think is next. Like, so last week I said Ohio State's clearly the third best team in the country. And I think with this offense, they could really give Georgia a run for the money as long as the defense keeps improving. Now, Georgia gets some playmakers at receiver back later in the year, and that could be a difference maker. Where do you guys rank this Buckeyes team that just is hurting people? 66-17. That's a beatdown. That's worse, obviously worse than Iowa beat them. Iowa's ranked number 3 right now. Where do you guys no, I disagree. Somebody said Hickman's the best player in the defense. I disagree with that. But he has gotten much better since they've moved him away from the line of scrimmage and made him more traditional strong safety that they drop in the box. I don't think he's flashing more than Steel Chambers is. But yeah, where would you guys rank this team? Someone says 3 to 4th. That's fair. Where's the fan like me that's wanting to be a little bit hot takey and says 2 or maybe 1 with it hitting their strides? Anybody want to go that nutty? Where you guys rank this offense? Somebody or this team overall? Somebody says most dangerous offense in the country. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I want to know, and I'll go ahead and put this in a banner. Where do you rank this Buckeyes team? Because I think they're beating anyone. Not only are they beating anyone like not named Alabama or Georgia, I think it's like unanimous, right? They are beating anybody named Alabama or Georgia, not named Alabama or Georgia, and it's not close, right? Like what team besides those two would even play on the field with this team? What team besides those two even gives them a game? I have a lot of 3s here. Somebody says Muhammad says 2. There you go. Who's feeling froggy? Because here's the thing. You got to score points in today's game to win. Georgia has the best defense to even slow this offense down. Are you guys really afraid? Now, I get it. Our defensive line doesn't always win at the line of scrimmage. Maybe Georgia runs the ball a little bit. But don't you like our mid-tier? We have a mid-tier to good defense now to stop Georgia's one-sided offense a lot better than Georgia's great defense to stop our number 1 offense. Like, they're not stopping this offense. They may slow it down, but I don't think you stop it, right? Let's see. Let you know after Georgia versus Auburn and Bama and A&M game. I think you've seen enough, though, right? Who's Auburn? Auburn's nobody. Who's A&M? A&M's not even good. Then A&M's not a good football team. Did you guys see the A&M? Did you guys see that A&M video on Twitter? It's pretty hilarious. The guy in overalls doing a little weird hitch and telling a joke. So Penn State is up 7-3. Okay, that is an interesting development. After this, I certainly want to go watch that. Let me know this, guys. What was your favorite moment of the game? Favorite moment of the game? A game that where you even said it stood out, right? Where you said, "Oh, wow, this is making a difference to me." A player that you love that flashed, a player you used to doubt that changed your mind, maybe. What was the favorite moment of the game for you? Somebody says, I want to get this in here. I need to see Georgia with all their players back before if I know if Ohio State can win. Good take. But what about today without the players back? Today. That is really what I want to know. Olave's first deep touchdown. I think I know the one you're talking about. Yes, where the corner, the safety kind of got in a bind. The safety chose to get beat deep instead of get beat shallow. And that's why I always say I think Garrett Wilson's the more complete receiver, but Olave has this difference maker that in college football, it's going to allow him to fill a stat sheet out better than anyone, and that's just speed. He's got great hands, great route running and all that, but his speed just allows him to just get behind people. What about, speaking of Olave touchdowns, what about the 4th and 1 deep post? Wasn't even a good pass, and we score anyway. Like I said, you can't beat teams when they are playing like that. Let's see what Muhammad says. He says, I love the speed we have on the outside, the extended run plays. I love the corners play physical and get off blocks to help stop running. That's a huge part of this game. That's a huge part of today's game because of all the screens. There was a few moments they didn't hold up so well, but yeah, the perimeter attack is certainly a big time bonus that we got to see. CJ Stroud passed to JSN down the seam, taking the hit. It's always nice when you see a guy take a hit and you're like, if he dropped it, I wouldn't be mad at him, but he holds on anyways. His team's banged up a lot. That's something you wouldn't like to see, the old Mr. Glass. I can't wait until we beat PSU by 2+ scores in 3 weeks. You're not wrong. I'd say, you're being a little bit of a fan. You're being a little bit too rah-rah. Pending some weird, just weird uncharacteristic mistakes. There's no whiteout. It's at Columbus. You're not wrong, dude. I'm here to say usually like, hey, let's temper expectations. I don't think, like, what's Penn State got that scares you? They have a good defense. Maybe they hit Stroud while he's throwing the ball, pops up in the air, you get an interception, bad field positions, pick six, something. But, what really scares you that they could do it enough? They can't run the ball. Jahan Dotson's really nice. But what would Penn State do to beat Ohio State? I could see Ohio State handling them like they did the last 2 years without that late kind of, I don't want to call it a late meltdown, but a late get back where Ohio State allowed them to kind of creep back into the game at the end, but it looked like Ohio State controlled the game. Pending 2019 Penn State game where we had 2 bad fumbles and field position, like self-inflicted errors where we gave Penn State great field position. Besides that, I don't see how Penn State hangs with this Buckeyes team. Let's see. CJ's pass under pressure, not I don't know. You guys can go back and forth. I don't know what we're talking about here. We got Eaton on screen plays a little bit. Yeah, and I think part of that's just what Maryland does really well, right? Maryland does good on screen plays, and sometimes you're going to get Eaton on them. But I would like to see, sometimes, you'd like to see your team blow some of those blocks up, sniff that out, guess right, and blow that out. I don't think the defensive ends are being productive enough. It's mostly the tackles pushing the ends, not the other way around. I think the ends are playing a lot better. I think they're getting pressed. They're not getting sacks, but they're getting to the quarterback. They're causing interceptions. They're causing the defense. It looked like Javonte Jean-Baptiste and Zach Harrison was your best duo today. They're causing pressure and they're causing the quarterback have to run around. They're just not getting the sack total. But Zach Harrison didn't. People say, he didn't have a sack versus Rutgers. He had something better. He forced an interception. So I think the defensive ends are improving. I would like to see, to your point though, I would like to see just the old blast around the edge and throw the quarterback down in a second and a half after the snap. That would be nice to see. We haven't seen that in a long time. 5 sacks today, both sacks and pressures. That's good. How about Jack Sawyer making a big play there late? That's a kid. There's a lot of depth on this team. It's hard to pick just a couple players you want to see out there. Current confidence level of getting into the playoff. It's almost a 10, honestly. Because here's okay. Ohio State's just wins out in their end. I don't care any confounded argument you want to make. Ohio State wins out in their end. And now I had Coach Zach Smith on the channel. He said he thought the Buckeyes have another loss built in somewhere. I understand what he means. This was a team with a lot of issues, a young quarterback that seemed to have some headspace issues, a young team with headspace issues, a defense that's relearning under a guy that's like a pseudo coordinator right now. There's a lot of youth out there. We're thrusting young guys into action because you seem like they're the best players, but they're not the most experienced. So you have all these things. And I can see why someone would say out of Michigan State, Michigan, Penn State, still left on the schedule, and a Big Ten championship game against likely Iowa, you can be better than all those teams, but still find a way to lose one of those games. And that's a fair take. But the way this team is rolling, man, I see it frustrating me a time or two, but I don't see it losing. If it wins out, it is in. They are absolutely in. Look, the SEC is probably getting 2 in this year. I hate to tell you, they just are. And undefeated Oklahoma would. What happened in the? I quit watching the Texas Oklahoma game, so I'm gonna have to open up the old phone here, get the nice voice, or sorry, get the face recognition going here. So we need to see exactly what's going on in the rest of the landscape, because look, Cincinnati, undefeated Cincinnati's not getting in over one loss Ohio State with a win. Oh, Texas blew it. Okay, figures. Okay, but still, Oklahoma has had 4 one-score games against unranked opponents. Now that they've changed quarterbacks, if they truly change, maybe they get a lot better. Texas got beat down by Arkansas. You know, we go on and so forth. Oklahoma has an easy road to the playoff because, you know, they don't really play anybody, but that could be a spot. I think they still get in over Oregon because, and this is going to hurt a lot of feelings, but if they played, they'd be a 2-touchdown favorite. Again, maybe a 3-touchdown favorite Ohio State would be. So I think Ohio State absolutely gets in. They'll get in over an undefeated Cincinnati because they will have wins over Penn State, Michigan, and likely Iowa. That's a lot. And a Nebraska team that seems to be surging a little bit, which isn't probably not going to look great, but that's a lot of really good wins. So someone says weather and coaching will matter in a few of the games. So that's why my confidence level is really high that Ohio State makes the playoff. Says it doesn't look like Iowa's offense can hold on. I know it's early, but Iowa's offense, that's who they are. That's why I'm not afraid of them. They are bad. They average like 120 pass yards a game. They are bad. It's not they're playing bad. They are bad on offense. 120 pass yards a game. You make them drive. You don't turn the ball over. You make them drive the length of the field. You will win. You will win. Punt to them. Punt to them. Make them drive the length of the field. You'll win. Me and Lindsay can go out there and play quarterback and running back. Lynn's breezy here. We'll beat them. Their offense not good. Defense is fantastic. Lots of people disagreed with me, but our secondary is playing way too far off receivers. Defense missed too many tackles. Too many times. It took 3 times to get QBs down. Missed tackles was an issue, especially when the backups went in. I think Legend missed a really bad one, calls it a touchdown. Sometimes we get a little soft in coverage, and I'm not sure why. I think that's Matt Barnes just liking the zone and saying, hey, you can get first downs, but I don't think you can get 4 of them and score on us. Big time choke. It was pretty bad. Let's see. RJ Young has some sort of personal agenda against OJU. RJ Young's just either trolling or going. RJ Young's just trying to drive clicks, or he's not very smart. I don't know which one it is. I really don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts. With the case I laid out to you, what's your confidence level on making the playoffs? Because, again, let's recap. CJ Stroud, 400 yards passing, 24 for 33, 5 touchdowns. Didn't even have to. This is what's crazy. That stat line without making very many throws. I don't know if any of the throws were jaw dropping, but he just did what he was supposed to do and looked fantastic. TreVeyon Henderson, 169 yards of offense, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Garrett Wilson, I think Wilson had something like, 80 or 100, 2 touchdowns. Olave, something like 120, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba, probably 100 yards. Number 1 offense in the country. Defense vastly improving. What is your confidence level of getting to the playoffs when 10? I have another 10. I have an 8, 9-ish. Went out and we're I think 8 or 9. We're much better than week 1 or 2. A Rutgers Commonwealth opponent. Yep. Exactly right. Exactly right, Rhett. This is what you got to think. I think Alabama wins out. I think Georgia wins out. I think both of those players or teams in the SEC championship will get in. And again, Then you're left to pick Big 12 champ, Big 10 champ, and Pac-12 champs or Cincinnati. You have 4 teams, 2 spots. Cincinnati, their biggest win will be against a top 20, top 25-ish Notre Dame team when it's all said and done. So Ohio State will be in over them. Ohio State will be in over Oklahoma, even if they're undefeated. I think because of what they've done. Oklahoma might have 2 ranked wins by the end of the season and a lot of close games with unranked teams. And if you look at Oregon might lose again. They might not. There's not a lot going on out west. The biggest threat is Oregon to win out and have a head-to-head over us. But, as long as we look good, we can't have another 3-point win in the Big Ten championship game, JT Barrett style. That might cost us a playoff spot. I think offensively we can hang with anyone, so as long as they don't regress, we're good. I think you're right. Does anybody out there absolutely think we just won't make the playoffs? Because that's what I'm interested in. Just a second, I'm going to take a drink, and then I want to also recap something about playoffs in this overall landscape of college football right now. And I too do apologize. I let a little more sunlight in the room to get a little brighter picture. And I'm actually going to stand up and fix that because, as you can see, it's messing with Urban back there, and he's not happy about it. So I'll just be right back with you guys. All right. Sorry about that. Appreciate you guys bearing with me. So real quick, there's 6 games in the season. Number one, I just want to say this to you guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Regular season's halfway over. Where'd it go, guys? Football season, college football season is halfway over. Enjoy it. This has been a fantastically warm fall. My first fall living back in Ohio again, especially northern Ohio. I'm not from here. I was afraid to come here because of the weather, sort of, but here we are. And fantastic fall. It's been a beautiful Saturday. It's like we're fall down south right now. Like we're in maybe not the deep south, but northern Georgia, Tennessee or something right now. It's 70-some degrees every Saturday. Days are beautiful. It is, the Buckeyes team regrouped and is crushing people. Enjoy it. It is halfway over already. Don't take this for granted that we're upset that we're not the number 1 team in the country and we wish the defense were better and all those things. And another season just blows by. Have fun with it. I can't believe it's halfway over already. So enjoy this moment. Enjoy college football. 6 games in. That's nuts to say the season's halfway over. It started yesterday. And I know it went by quick because game 1 was a lot of fun. It was, game 2 was not fun at all. And game 3 was not fun. And then game 4 and 5, we were trying to make sense. And now here we are, game 6. So please enjoy this, guys. We're already talking about playoffs. Corey, I want to get to his points. Throw to JSN while getting hit over the middle was pretty sweet. Somebody mentioned that earlier. He's a 9 that we get into the playoffs. I don't think this is a national championship team. Before the season, I thought this was a step back, maybe the year to kind of take a loss, not win the Big Ten, regroup. Still could happen. I don't know that this is a playoff winning team. But it is within spitting distance. Could it get embarrassed in the playoffs? Possibly. But I think this is a really nice team. I'm not a guy that wants to go to the playoffs just to go, even if I think they're going to get embarrassed. I'm like, look, just go win a New York Six Bowl. Yeah, there's a whole fighting chance thing. That only goes so far. This team actually has a fighting chance. Fighting chance. Clifford, look, this is what Iowa does to people. I don't get it. I just have to watch that. I don't get it. Stat just shown Iowa leads FBS with 79 INTs grabbed since 2007. JT. out of here. Do you guys see this? Get him out of here. For those of you who don't know, that's my co-host, Florida Corey Thompson. JT threw 6. Get him out of here. I'm not standing for that. Was great. Iowa's defense doesn't look like anything they've been hyped up today. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not watching the game. I like how he dealt with that. And I don't even think it was day. I think it was one side of the ball. I really think it was one side of the ball. Penn State, too many athletes for Iowa. That's what I thought going into the game, that Penn State would edge out an ugly one, but because they have guys like Jahan Dotson. And Iowa's offense is not good. So their whole thing to beat teams, like if they were to play Ohio State, their path to victory, you know what it would look like is 2000. I want to say this was 2017 Big Ten championship against Wisconsin. And I think Wisconsin probably even had a better offense that year than Iowa does this year. And remember how we were just running Johnny Dixon, Terry McLaurin, just having their way with that offense or with that defense. And then we clammed up late, and JT threw a really bad pick late. And I think they got a pick 6 or a short field and scored, and it got really tight and tense. And then we just kind of clammed up and did the whole Urban Meyer run out the clock playbook. That would be Iowa's hope to win that game. A game like that might keep you out of the playoffs if Cincinnati wins out and Oklahoma wins out and Oregon looks really good. But Iowa doesn't have the what does what they do on Iowa just look? Does it look like Georgia where they have this big, nasty, fast front seven and they just get home and there's nothing you can do? How do you stop it? Or does it look like they just keep ending up kind of being in the right place, causing a little pressure, right time, and getting interceptions? How do they continue to do it? You're not supposed to be able to bank on turnovers like this. Has anything happened? Corey just uploaded that stat. They're leading FBS. Is anybody else close? Has anybody had this many turnovers? Indiana had a lot of turnovers last year. Anybody force this many interceptions specifically before? I've not seen this. I think our defense is top 30 with the offense. We will have to win it all. I think right now it's top 30. So it's number 80 overall. That's with the first 3 games. I think it was like 120th when Barnes took over. He had the really bad game versus Tulsa, and then it got to like 80th after last game. I think you're right. Probably top 30 is about where it is right now. It's fun to see them play better. Ryan Day made the decision that need to be made. They're playing like they're supposed to. I believe so. I don't want to hear that, Ed. Feels like the 14th year, 2004 early loss, and it flipped a switch. Yeah, you like a team. Sometimes it takes a team getting slapped and woken up. And hopefully that's what happened with this Buckeye team. 14-3, Iowa being exposed. Yeah. And the thing is, we have a lesser version of Penn State's defense at a much more dynamic offense. So what do you think Ohio State's going to do something similar if they get to play Iowa? I really think so. Now, it would be pretty cool if Iowa won this one, because I just think a black jersey, I just have this, you ever just romanticize something in your mind? And much like Corey romanticizes his relationship with JT Barrett, you ever just romanticize something in your mind? And I have this image of a media hyped Big Ten championship game, undefeated Iowa against one loss Ohio State, who's playing really good. Red jerseys for Ohio State, black for Iowa. I don't care what jersey Ohio State with, but black jerseys for Iowa in the Lucas Oil Stadium Big Ten championship. No matter if you only lose the game by a little or win the game by a little, you're still getting in because they hyped Iowa as some juggernaut. Something like number 4 versus number 5 or number 3 versus number 5. Wouldn't that be awesome? Sadly, I don't think we're going to get it the way it's looking. So what's the game flow? They got 2 interceptions, and Penn State has still. So what? At 4 touch, well, they've had time for what? 4 possessions, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. How is Penn State get behind them? Don't tell me, is it Jahan Dotson? Is it Dotson? I don't think they can't run the ball. Is it Noah Cain? Surely not. So how is Penn State getting behind Iowa behind the defense to actually score? Let me know. Corey, yep. 14-3. I get that. How is it happening, though? How is it happening, Corey? You're just giving me numbers. Tell me how it happened. Before I wind this down, guys, let me know any questions, comments, specifics you want to deal with this team. And please, again, I hate to continue to ask, but we love doing this. Please, 3,500 subscriptions. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You have a Coach in the Bullet every week with me and Zach Smith. You have me and Corey. You have shows with me and Shane. You have pregame chats. You have postgame chats. You have funny entertainment. You have analysis. Please join this channel and help us. We're going to do some. I think Coach in the Bullet is the best Buckeye show in all of Buckeye media. I really do. And I think we're some of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining. I'm not going to say we're the most insightful. We're the most entertaining out there. I really do think so. Myself and Corey, myself and Shane. And riddle me this, Batman. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Is there a better looking Buckeye media or Buckeye talk crew than the people I just named, myself and the people I just named? Name a better looking group. I'll wait. It's got to be the most handsome group of people covering the Buckeyes there is. It's got to be the most handsome. All right, let's get back to the comments. Let's see. Iowa just isn't the number 3 team. What is your prediction? Ohio State versus Penn State in 2 weeks. Prediction? Pain. Right off Rocky 3. I think Ohio State, maybe something like the 2019 game. Ohio State largely controls the game. Few big moments from Penn State. Ohio State wins that game between 10 and 14 points. Could be even more. That's what I think. I think a few big defensive pressures mess with Stroud, get us off our game a little bit, but largely you still see some big hitter, a big play. We just got too many horses. You remember the last year's game, Ohio State just looked like a way better team, but the defense was so bad. Dotson and the guys on the perimeter made a few plays and made the game a lot closer. Iowa D looked super average. Penn State doing nothing special. Who would have known? Steve says, keep doing great things. What did Maryland do to slow a running game? I don't know. I was counting in the box a few times, only 6 men, but we didn't run against it. Every time I counted 6, it seemed like we threw that game, but they were in too high safety, but we still completed the passes. So I don't know if the D linemen are just really good and actually like to slant and fill those gaps really well. That's a good question. My initial guess is D line play was really good. And we didn't play and just blast them with some tight ends and block and open big creases. The other thing is they closed windows. I did see when there was a big play, all kinds of green grass, and Henderson would jump in there, and I'm like, oh, he's gone. Somebody would just come off a block late and shut it down. It'd be a 7-yard gain. Still a good play, but they would close windows pretty quick. So I think they're just pretty decent at touchdown saving tackles and that kind of thing. Corey says, your mom, that's how it happened. Didn't tell you Arkansas. Yeah, well, you were right, Ed. Arkansas was not all that. You are all funny. One of the best to watch. One of the best media teams, not to mention any names. A snooze fest every time you watch. They're monotone. This show is a breath of fresh air. Lindsay agrees. The most entertaining here, and I'll take that as a silent commitment that this is the best looking group of Buckeye football media members. And yes, we try not to say that CJ Stroud had 4 touchdowns today and be slow and boring. We could throw for days. Easy day at the office, Rhett. That is right. It was an easy day at the office. The Buckeyes just continue to cruise, continue to bludgeon and obliterate people. So please, guys, anything you want before I go, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Comment below anything you'd like to cover real quick. We're going to wind it down. Got some. I got one of somebody who's sometimes a Buckeye source blowing up the phone. Yep, he's just asking questions. So that's nothing that big. Something about Caleb Williams. So we'll figure that out later. But if it was some Buckeye stuff, I was gonna love to read that out route. Okay, I'll just let you know. It was Ryan Day. It was Ryan. And he was just texting me a picture of his post-game meal. Just normal stuff that we talk about. You believe me, right? You guys believe me. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the post-game shows. Thank you for being part of the Scarlet and Great family. I'm going to go ahead and wind it down if I don't see anything else in the comments. Appreciate you guys again for joining us, Lindsay, Ed, Corey, MJ, who's been in here. Let's see who else. I love to call out fans. Rhett, Muhammad. You guys are big parts of why we do what we do. Nick's been in here. Julian is in the pregame show a lot. I didn't see Sue in the pregame show, but of course I wasn't a part of it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and wind it down. Follow me on Twitter at ScarletGreatJL. Follow Corey on Twitter at ScarletGreat CT, and follow Shane on Twitter at the Game Time Guru. Thank you so much for joining. Until next week, goodbye. God bless, and go Bucks.